Hey, listen, at least the Calgary Flames are above the San Jose Sharks, right? They have one more point than the San Jose Sharks, who have literally not even won a game. But this Calgary Flames season, listen, I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to be a little bit more competitive than this. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs or anything. I think they were going to still be like a top 10 bad team in the league. But my God, 1-6-1, and this team has only scored 13 goals for. The worst offensive team in the Pacific Division. Man, oh man, could this team use some offense? They need it desperately, and honestly, they're pretty bad defensively too, and their goaltending is bad. Everybody tries to talk about like what exactly, like everybody's trying to say, well, I thought the Flames were going to be bad, but I didn't think they were going to be this bad. The reason they're so bad right now is because everything is going wrong. Their goaltending sucks, their defense sucks, and they can't score. It's just everything. Now, it's actually not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you're on Team Tank, which a new report is suggests that the Calgary Flames might be on, well, that's actually not such a bad thing. Now, is it? Welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is very humbling. You know, it's weird. From my perspective, I always have a love-hate relationship with tanking. Now, the reason for that is that you can have what I call a dark decade, okay? The Oilers were bad for years before Connor McDavid showed up. They had a dark decade, man. It's the same thing with Buffalo. Like, sometimes just because you're bad doesn't mean you're going to rebuild and your franchise is going to be good. So, and it's kind of weird, too. Isn't it, from a philosophical standpoint, it's kind of weird, like, cheering for your team to be bad? Like, I know I get the philosophy around it. Oh, you get a good pick. I get that. It's just kind of like, oh man, like you're supposed to cheer for your team to be good, so it is weird. Although logically, from the long term, it probably makes sense for the Flames just to be bad because man, this team cannot score to save their lives. They are just inept offensively. And here's the thing. The good thing about this, though, is it looks like the Calgary Flames philosophy has changed because the Calgary Flames of the past would kind of just say, you know, we really, really have to get this together. We have to find a way to get better. But honestly, it's kind of best to just accept the situation that you're in, right? Just kind of accept it and just see. And this is where we have with Elliot Friedman, where he has a really, really interesting quote around this. Quote, they're kind of trying to bridge until their new building comes in. The thing that I can see that can be a real danger for Calgary is stay away from a short-term fix. I think that this is an organization that, in the past, would say, I don't think like where this is going. Let's see if we can do something to keep our heads above water. Close quote. The quote continues, though. This is really interesting. I think the Calgary Flames, the best thing that they can do is if they see this year going where it is, all right, do we have to feel some real pain? This is going to be a really good draft. It's going to take somebody inside the organization standing up and saying, people aren't going to like this, but this is what we need to do. If it doesn't get better with the group of guys we have, if they can't dig their way out of it, we cannot do a short-term fix. If anybody comes at us with a short-term fix, we either have to hang up the phone or tackle each other so nobody can call Central Registry, close quote. Yeah, because here's the thing. Everybody is going to try to be schooling the Flames and say, hey, listen, you know, we got this great player here. Why don't you just give us, you know, this or that draft pick? Now, there's no possible way the Calgary Flames would be that stupid. Can you imagine them giving up a top, I mean, even if they top 10 protected this first round pick, that would be just frankly incredibly silly of them. And this is another really interesting part of this article that I really like. Friedman went on to say that when he watches the Flames, he feels that they're really missing from their lineup as a high-end draft pick. While he mentioned players like Zane Parekh and Gridden as being good prospects, he was very adamant about how big it would be for the organization to draft a potential first overall pick like Gavin McKenna, close quote. And let's not forget, the Calgary Flames are one of the few organizations that have never had a first overall selection. So it would kind of just be good for them to get a first overall selection. I mean, they kind of deserve it after all of these years. I mean, remember the Oilers, like every single year would have a first overall pick, and it's just absolutely infuriating, but that's just kind of how it works out. And listen, the feeling that I'm getting from Flames fans here is that this is the way that they want their organization to go as well, right? Like that, this is the way they want their organization to go. And honestly, if I was like that, I'd be like, listen, I don't know if I'm necessarily for trading all veteran players for picks, because I do believe in veteran leadership to a degree, but maybe not overdo it there as well. And let's not forget that this is a stacked draft, even if you don't get McKenna. Like you have to understand that this is not by any means is this a bad draft, right? So obviously you have Gavin McKenna. He's already going to be going first overall. There is no doubt about that, but there are some game breakers that are probably going to be going top 5. Like I really like Ivor Stenberg. I think that he is going to be a game breaker, 6'1", 181. I mean, right now he currently plays in the SHL, 25-26 SHL. And let's be clear, when he's playing in the SHL, he has 10 points in 13 games. That is really excellent performance from an 18-year-old. He's 18.74 years old, so he's turning 19 relatively soon. So, well, at the draft, he will be 18. He'll be almost 19 at the draft. So I like to look at the exact age of the player to look at his production and if it's good. I mean, for a guy to have 10 points in 13 games in the SHL, and he's not even going to be 19 by the draft, that's really promising stuff. And again, if the Flames do get in the top 5 of this draft, which they definitely are going to be in the top 5, I always like to assume the worst case scenario, so it's possible that the Flames might even drop back because of how the draft is, right? They could very well fall back. But again, even if you fall back, there's still a lot of like really nice players here. I mean, you have Ryan Rubrick, who is a hell of a player, and not only that, but this is a left-hand shooting center. He's 6'4", so he's a giant, and he's going to be almost 19 by the time of the draft. Now, he has had a little bit of a slower start with the Niagara Ice Dogs, according to his point per game, where he usually is. He's at 8 points in 11 games played. Now, that seems okay, but it's a little bit slower where he was last year. Last year in 24-25, this guy had 87 points in 64 games in his draft minus 1 year, right? Like 87 points in 64 games for a big center like that, that's really promising. So obviously I think that he's definitely going to pick it up. He's not going to end up being under a point per game, because even in his first season with the Ice Dogs, he had 51 points in 63 games. So I understand some people are going to look at this player and their mouths are going to be salivating. You could look at Veerhoff, but again, he is a defenseman, a right-hand shooting defenseman. So first off, this player is unbelievable. I'm not trying to put bad, juju in this. I mean, but I don't think that the Flames, they need a game-breaking forward, okay? The Flames need an elite, top-end, top guy that you can say, that's the guy that's the game-breaker. That's the biggest thing that the Flames need. Now, they have other holes, of course, but that's what they need. They need a couple of game-breaking forwards that you can really say, those are the guys that can carry the Flames for the next 10, 15 years. Anyways, guys, I am going to leave this video here. If you can make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys, and make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.